He heals all your brokenness. He redeems your life from the pit. Crowns you with mercy, crowns you with love. Slow to anger, rich in love. His compassion rises like the sun from the heavens, high above. Great is his love for everyone. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Every heart be giving him praise. As far as the east from the west, he has carried my sins away. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let his mercy cover the night. From everlasting to everlasting, his kingdom rules in light. Justice for all who are oppressed. He made his ways known to Moses, his acts to the children of Israel. As a father has compassion on the children that he loves, so the Lord shows compassion to the ones who fear his name. He remembers we are dust. Our days are like the grass, but his mercy never fades. His faithfulness will last. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Every heart be giving him praise. As far as the east from the west, he has carried my sins away. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let his mercy cover the night. From everlasting to everlasting, his kingdom rules in light.
I was singing mercy and justice to you, oh Lord, I'll make my song. I'll walk within my house with honor and keep my heart from doing wrong. I will say no wicked thing before my eyes are in my way. The proud will not endure with me. Truth and love will light my day. I'll stand in faith, I'll stand in grace, in purity before your face. I'll guard my steps, I'll guard my gate. My heart and soul will celebrate. I will sing of your mercy, I will dance to your justice, in the rhythm of your glory. My heart beats in your promise. justice flows like ocean waves. Your truth forever stays.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Holy, he is holy.
Good morning, good morning. Well, what is going on? We got the market collapsing. War on the brink of a breakout. Well, it's already at a war, but potential for escalation. We got to have some conversations here this morning. How's everybody doing? How was yesterday? How was your trading? How are you doing emotionally? How are you handling the news? Do you think the world's falling apart? Or maybe you don't pay attention to that. That might be a good thing. Yesterday was great. Way to go, Tin. The world is always falling apart. What's up, Tax? Good morning.
Moses, Aaron,
Good morning, good morning.
they called, you answered. Cloud spoke, you gave command.
Good morning.
You forgave, you corrected.
FM, is that how you'd say that?
A God who answered,
Good morning.
a God who account.
No, this is EDM Christian something channel Central. EDM Christian Central, I think. Or Christian EDM Central. I did take a short yesterday. I was able to make some money. I lost some money in the afternoon, but ended up making some money in the drop. We're going to go ahead and open in prayer here shortly, and then we'll get ready to go.
Oh Lord, my God, I take refuge in you. Save me from those who pursue lest they tear my soul apart. You are the judge of every heart. If I have done this wrong, if guilt is found in me, let the enemy chase me.
All right, why don't we go ahead and get started here?
And trample my soul to
Let's open in prayer, and then we'll take a look at the charts.
anger's flame. Awake for the justice you claim. Let the peoples gather round your throne on our high. Judge of hearts, shine your light. Truth is
Father, we just honor you this morning. Father, I thank you that you know the request before we even ask. I thank you that your planning for us is clear. I thank you that you direct our steps, and I thank you, Father, that no matter what we go through, that you are with us. Lord, I pray for everyone here. Lord, no matter what their circumstances are, no matter where they may be economically, Father, I thank you that you are for them and not against them. Father, that you have given them a hope and a future. And Father, I pray that you would give us wisdom today. Give us wisdom and divine patience in this market. Father, that we would care about protecting what we have instead of trying to chase after more. Lord, we honor you in this live stream. I pray that you would be exalted. In Jesus' name I pray, and everyone said, amen. Well, folks, yesterday the market had a nice little sell-off. It ran all the way into the close and then some. And we opened without a gap, but then ran our low. From a daily perspective, what we need to watch is, do we reach for these levels down here? If we close below this, not necessarily today, but you could call it this day or this day, and if we close below it, we're probably have a much lower price to go. So this is a very, in my opinion, sensitive moment for people's retirement accounts, all that stuff with war potentially to escalate, that we need to see how price manages right around here. This is a very sensitive area, in my opinion. So when we're looking at price, that is, we are looking as day traders, where can we extract 50 handles? Where can we extract some money? And so that's what we're going to look for today. See if we can either get a retracement higher or play a part of a continuation. But I would absolutely have a bearish mentality that any longs are going to be short-lived and any runs lower are going to be extended. That's how I would treat the market. Even though we are already low, we could reverse here, we could get a retracement, sure. The 4-hour time frame is already rebalanced this, or has come up into it and then expanded lower. We don't have a sweep of liquidity outside of this 10 p.m. candle. And then we ran lower, sweeping those lows. These red lines are the lows. Now that we've ran the low, I'm going to put our fib tool to this low, to the high, so we have some sense of where the midpoint is of this range. Dropping down to the hourly. Is there any fair value gaps above us that we might want to rebalance? Again, 5 a.m. Oh, not again. 10 p.m. reached up into this hourly. And then 5 a.m. reached up into this hourly. So order flow is obviously bearish. Now that we've ran this low, we've closed decisively through it, excuse me. The question is, are we that heavy where we can't reach back up to some of these levels here? This is the previous day low and an hourly fit or hourly SIBI. From a 15-minute perspective, we've reached up into this order block right here. This is going to be, my guess is a 30-minute order block. You see that? This 30-minute order block right there. We've closed below it and we reached back up into it right here. Again, bearish order flow. We don't have any fair value gaps except for up here around the hourly. So nothing to retrace back up to except here. Everything tells me I should look for longs. That's what everything's telling me. Low resistance liquidity. I just don't know how heavy we are. If we are that heavy, we might just continue to fall at open. I'm not interested in taking any of my models, not the 930 or 1030 at the moment. We're going to see how this just wants to play out. I don't want to be presumptuous with the current conditions that we're in. 415. We got a premium opening range gap. I got a feeling there might be a big sell-off right at the open with the when people are seeing how we've dropped over the pre-market. But then we could also sell and just run higher. Low resistance liquidity. We have equal highs right here. This would be this honestly is our most obvious target if we're going to look for a place that it might want to reverse at. London high is already ran. London low was already ran. Midnight open. It's not been tagged. Yeah, I'm not interested in the 930 this morning. I mean, when I go back and I test my models, the only context I don't have is the environment that it was in. News events, economic events. It's impossible to put that inside of backtesting. So I don't know, and I don't have a reasonable level of certainty to know where it's going to go or how it's going to respond with the opening.
Depart from me, you workers of pain. For the Lord has heard my cry. Again.
And just remember, if you're feeling anxious about a move, about opportunities, about if you're going to lose money because of the volatility, your best position is break even. That's your best position. Your best position is flat. It's not taking a trade. There's zero expectation to actually have to take a trade. I use the opening range gap for it to be filled as a draw on liquidity. I do like where the opening range gap is currently sitting. We'll see where it opens here in a minute. Cash is a position, my friends. I don't even have downside targets. I don't. I guess we have our previous week low that's way down there. We're going to trade Apex accounts today. There's open.
Strike down the
My goodness.
How long will you hide your face from my soul that waits in silence? Sorrow fills my heart each day. Enemies lift their weight, but still I look for light in the shadow of your sight. Answer me, hear my cry, give light to my eyes. Let's sleep in the night, let's not fall from your side. But I trust in
I accidentally exited or deleted the live stream. I thought I shut it off. Sorry.
for you have been good to me.
I might try the opening dump model here inside this fair value gap on an eval, see if it wants to continue to drop. No, I'm not in a trade. No. Here, let me throw that up there. No trades. Everything in me wants me to just see if I can jump in on the short. This is the day that the Lord has made. Amen. I think we might do a creep down to here. $97. Make sure my accounts are matching. We are waiting. We are waiting. Sitting and waiting. Give me a second, folks. I'm gonna pull, meaning I'm gonna take that off the screen here real quick because I'm doing something on my computer. I was wrong. No slow grind down to that low. Back up inside this fair value gap. Watching this low here, which is a breaker, and an inversion right here. See if we want to reach up into that. What's up, lad? Good morning. All right, so we got our first presented fair value gap sitting here. See how the long runs have been short-lived and everything just, so any long runs just need to be taken with lots of caution.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall. Have mercy upon me, oh God.
Wash me deeper than sin. Shape a clean heart within. Do not cast me away. Do not take your spirit from me. Open eyes to truth. A broken spirit rises. A contrite heart moves. Tender mercy falls. Quiet.
Ariana, it is the first presented fair value gap because it's the first. If you go to regular trading hours, here's regular trading hours. Is there a fair value gap there? No, this is the first. Now, if this is by a key level, I will use this as the first. But many times, if it doesn't have another candle on the left of it, I won't use it, which 930 never does. All right, so we reached up into this fair value gap up here. Again, I'm not interested in longs right now. I love this music, by the way. I'm not sure what we're gonna do about this because we're so close to this level. Anything long, I'm not interested in, especially with how heavy we've been. What I would rather look for is a sweep here and treat a sweep here like a turtle soup anticipating that it's just going to peak up above it and then run lower. All right, so we have a 5-minute inversion right here, a purge of liquidity. If it was any other day other than the market feeling like we're just collapsing, I would be interested in looking at a long right here. We got a breaker right here. I mean, we could still try to take this and see and just manage our risk appropriately and see if the market wants to give it to us. Be something like this. The risk isn't horrible here. We'll see if it finds support here or if it look how it referenced the exact middle of that fair value gap. I'm going to take a long here. I'm going to see if that will give it to us here. So this is based on a purge lower, 5-minute inversion to the upside, referencing this inversion on this side, fair value gap here. We'll see if it wants to give it to us. If it doesn't, we will protect our position. I ended up getting in about there. We're watching for the inversion here. See, this is what I was concerned about, is that no, we're not going to mess around with that. It already violated the inversion. So I'm out. I'm not going to mess around with that. It's the very thing that I just like, I'm not confident in a long. It may work out. It may work out. I'm just not confident in it. Patel, yesterday I passed my eval, funded, but today I just, because of misclick. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let's see what it wants to do here. Yeah, I get a lot of comments on it. It's EDM, or it's Christian EDM Central, I think it is. All right, I have my affirmation just about ready.
You lead your people like a flock.
I was glad when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Our feet standing inside your gates, Jerusalem. One voice becomes many, one step forward. The doors are open. Let us go to the house of the Lord. Let us go, let us go, let us go to the house of the Lord. Come on.
Well, here's the thing I'm learning. I think I got scared out of that trade. That's just the truth. I got scared out of the trade. I got scared out of the trade.
Held as one, where the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, to give thanks to the name of.
If I'm gonna take a trade, I need to take it with confidence and let the trade play out. That's what I need to do. I took that and just one large candle lower. Granted, it did go through this inversion, but I allowed that to manipulate my feelings. So mindset right now needs to change for me if I'm going to take another trade. And I need to let the trade play out. Even if it's incorrect, even if I'm wrong, I have to be okay with the loss and I have to let the trade play out. Yeah, walking around does help. Way to go. Yeah, look at that. That looks nice on the 15-minute. Let's use this hourly as a potential target.
For my brothers, for my companions, I speak peace within you. For the house of the Lord our God, I see you're good.
I'm gonna expect an aggressive candle lower, and then if we take it, I'm going to take it to these highs, and I'm gonna let the trade play. I'm not gonna be. Let's see, what stop would that be? Because I do think we're gonna go somewhere around there. Let's. Where's the middle of this fair value gap? Let's do there. We're gonna do that as our entry. If we don't get down to that level, it means I'm not gonna take the trade, and we'll let it play without me.
Make a joyful shout to God.
But we're gonna have to be a little more intentional on where we want our entry to be, and let price move to our entry, and then have a defined stop loss so that we can take a trade from that.
Through the greatness of your power, your enemies submit. All the earth worships you, sings
If it's your model, take it. Take it. Follow your model, follow your plan. I'm irritated how my emotions played into that last trade. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm irritated. I know better not to do that. And I did it. Can somebody put it in? Can somebody put the playlist in there? This is the playlist. Psalm, it's Christian EDM Central on YouTube. Christian EDM Central. Yeah, from that entry that I took, I know. That's what I want to do right now. We have a 5-minute breaker. We're going to wait for this 3-minute candle or this 5-minute candle to close. We're going to look for it to dip into that, and then we'll look for a long there. But I've decided to take a long. We have this entire range to deal with. Even if we don't hit these highs, that's what we're going to play. That's just what we're going to play right now. We're waiting for the news first, so the trade will be after 10 o'clock.
Do not hide your face in the day of my distress. Incline your ear. Answer me.
The other option is that we drop all the way down to the first presented fair value gap, make a failure swing to the downside, and we start moving higher again. If we eliminate this fair value gap, that's gone almost. And then we're watching this 15-minute and see how that closes. The other option that I will take is if we get aggressive displacement running through where I want to enter before I enter, we'll look at this as a breaker to the downside to go to the current low would be 100 points. That looks attractive as well. So I see both sides of the market. I mean, I'm definitely would prefer going lower. We do have a sweep of these levels here, 15-minute sweep. So still sitting, waiting. Whatever the trade I'm going to do, it's gonna be to target or break even. I'm done allowing. I'm pissed at how I handled this. I'm really frustrated. I should not have. I'm not mad. I'm using it as an expression to communicate that I'm disappointed on how I handled that. That shouldn't have been handled that way. I got out impulsively. That's just so immature. That's just not the trader who I am. So when I see something that I do, I'm going to call it out. I do this all the time to myself. I'll look in the mirror, I'll call it out, and I'll tell myself who I am, the type of trader that I am. I am a patient, I'm a disciplined trader. I wait for the setup. I don't chase. I wait. I let the trade come to me. All right, here's 10 o'clock. What, you need to see me fail? You need to see me mess up? Al West? You're welcome. There's the breaker there. 10 o'clock. Let's get a little clearer here. Let's go to the 3-minute. We dip down to the 3-minute fair value gap. I mean, that looks good for a long. The chances of us continuing to here is, in my opinion, besides it being a very bearish market, seems really likely. But we're going to let it play out. We're going to see what happens. All right, so we closed above our 2 down closed candles. We have a change in state of delivery, so on the 15-minute time frame. So really what I'd be looking for is if we're going to see a sustained higher move to, say, midnight open in these equal highs, I'm going to want to see it drop down into this 15-minute. So that means we got 12 minutes on this candle and then 15 minutes on the next candle for potentially dipping in. By that time, we might as well wait for another 15 minutes to get to the 11 a.m. macro for it to take along. That's how I'm going to treat this. Now, it might do it on a lower time frame. Excuse me. We have this breaker right here with a fair value gap sitting right here on the 5-minute. That qualifies as something that I would be interested in. No more 5 minutes. We have that 1 minute down there. We have the 5-minute inversion that happened right here. What's up, Lexi? Yes, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then it's a private live stream for those in the community on Tuesdays, and then Thursday afternoon or Thursday after the live stream, we do an extended stream.
is steadfast, I will sing. I will give praise, awake my glory. Awake, harp and lyre. I will awaken the dawn. I will praise you, oh Lord, among the peoples. I will sing among the nations. Be exalted
I'm doing some mental math right now.
above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. Be exalted, oh God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. Be exalted, oh God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. Be exalted, oh God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above.
Deciding what I want my stop loss to be. If I get my trade, I'm probably going to take 2 or 3 micros. I'm just making sure how big of a stop loss to see if it's appropriate. So right now, if I take 3 micros, my stop loss can't be more than 40 points. So if I want to take, let's say, a dip back down in here, and I want my stop to be below that level, this is where I'd have to take my trade, right here. If the stop can't be more than 30, well then I need to change where I need my entry to be based on that. So I'm just doing some mental math to find out what can I risk, what size I need to take, predetermining what that's going to be beforehand, so that if I get stopped out, I stay within my risk parameters. The singer is AI. Why are we getting so many questions on that? We getting a lot of questions on the music. Well, that's good. I guess they like something here, huh? You know what? From now on, here's what we're gonna tell people. We're gonna tell people you can only hear it here. You can't get it anywhere else. The only spot you can hear it is at this live stream. That's not a bad idea there, Kenny. Turn up the volume a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we're just sitting here waiting, so I don't see why not. As long as you guys can still hear me when I'm talking. I honestly, based on this 5-minute, don't think we're gonna come back down here. So if I was to take the entry inside this 5-minute fair value gap, here's where my stop would be. And then we can go down to the 1-minute time frame to see, does this make sense? From my perspective, if we're gonna dip down into this 5-minute, I feel like we might reach for this other fair value gap that's lower. That's kind of my thought process in that, is that would put me here for an entry. My stop would be below the 50% level. No, it wouldn't. Yes, it would. Midpoint is inside of this fair value gap. This looks good. might take one less contract, which would then increase my stop if I wanted to do that. Let me do this.
Your judgments, oh God.
40.
Your righteousness. To the King's Son.
I could have a 60-point stop loss if I take 2 micros. So I could have my stop there if I take 2 micros, which would definitely be safer, would give me some breathing room for the long if we're going to take a long. Really, I'm still interested in how we interact with this level. We also hit the midpoint of the opening range gap. So we have this option here for the long. We have this option for a short. Two micros would put me at the high. That's not bad. That might be an option too. Well, that short idea is out the window.
His name shall endure forever. His name shall endure forever. As long as the sun.
It happens. It happens. Sometimes it leaves without us.
Praise all day long. Men shall be blessed in him. All nations call him blessed.
What's MJ? What's up, MJ? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you been?
Blessed be his glorious name forever. Let the whole earth.
Yeah, I mean, if we get up to the hourly, I will be looking for shorts for sure at that point.
Amen.
To me, that tag of the hourly is pretty important.
Light of the world.
Unless we start dropping right here. Look at that 5-minute disappearing there. To me, I'm seeing this as manipulation. I think it's gonna go right back up. And if it doesn't, I mean, I'm not in a trade, I'm just tape reading.
Every heartbeat testifies.
Way to go, AMS. Yes, you should. No, do not go for another small trade. I'm glad you put that in there. Lock yourself out. Why would you have shorted that candle that closed through the fair value gap that stopped you out? Would have been a loss by trying to figure out why I didn't meet the criteria. I don't understand the question. Are you talking about the trade that I took, BC? If the trade that I took, I'm mad on how I executed that. It was extremely poor execution. I've said it multiple times in the stream. I'm irritated on how I handled that. Very frustrated. But I gotta let it go and look for the next one. I gotta let it go and look for the next. The Lord is my strength. Why wasn't the inverse a setup? Oh, that sure. I can see that. Why wasn't the inverse a setup? I didn't even consider it. Well, I did after I got out, but I was already in a loss and I wasn't going to just revenge trade and go short right away. If I was intently looking for that trade to the downside, I would have taken it. Potentially. We had the sweep here. But I think there was something on the 5-minute. Oh, I know why I didn't. Because we had an inversion of the 5-minute. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that because simply the inversion of the 5-minute. This is why I didn't take it or consider it. Because when I started looking for longs, it was because this candle closed, giving us a 5-minute inversion. After a quick move lower, we get the quick move higher. That's where I wanted to take that long. That's why I decided to take that long. But even though I was planning on taking the long and I took the long, in the back of my mind and even at the beginning of the stream, I was like, guys, this is very bearish. So that's still in the back of my mind sitting there. And then when we got this candle, I'm just like, nope, not going to deal with it. And then it goes right in my direction the very next candle. I'm just extremely irritated how I allowed my emotions to decide to get out of a trade to preserve capital. I got it. I mean, I preserved capital, but I got out emotionally, which I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have done that. That's just not, that's not high stakes trading mentality. So there's multiple things that as I like you guys asking these questions and bringing it up because I get to verbally process it and it helps me because I'm a verbal processor. You still say that closing before the inversion or from the inversion was justified? I mean, 100%. I mean, I get that. I get that. Okay, let's say it was justified. I took 2 micros. I could have taken 1, and I could have planned out my risk better. There's room for me to grow in that trade. And if anything, I should have planned out where I was going to put my stop. Yes, I could have just said if it closes below. But one thing that I normally do is after we close below, if we start going higher, I'll set my stop at the low and then let that be the low because I've seen many times it turn around. Maybe I think I need to institute that more. Because we got the inversion and we dipped down into that inversion right here and then just completely reversed. Yeah, I mean, it's probably very subjective to the person that's taking the trade on if they should have closed there. I get it. I'm mad on how I took the close. It was very emotional. It was, look at this large down closed candle. I'm scared. Yes, there's the invalidation. I'm going to get out. That was the emotion that was predominant in that closure. Not, oh, there's my stop. All right, let's follow the plan. There was emotion involved, and I shouldn't have allowed that. All right, there's the dip into the 5 minute. This candle right here, this 5 minute candle, isn't very appealing to take that long. This candle here is not saying strength right now. It's saying, hey, I'm faking moves higher. I'm getting people to go long so I can get more positions to go short. That's how I'm seeing that. Now, we have an inversion right here. We could try an inversion to this swing high. That's not a bad trade. We just sweep the liquidity here. And it's in the direction of that. We'll take that. Stop is going to be at the low. Just so we have a hard stop. I'll put this up on the screen. We're going to let it play out. We're just looking for that swing high. See if it wants to go back up to here. Nope. So to me, even though I got stopped out there, my emotions and my feelings were completely different. I just, whatever it happens, and I'm going to let the trade play out. Even though it was a loss.
You prune what doesn't live, but you never take the song away. Every season you make new fruit from the branches that stay. Your word is rain on rhythm. Your truth is wine on soul. Every measure breathes your mercy. Every chord makes me whole. Spirit move in the low light. Grace hums between the bass lines. I don't need the world's noise, just the pulse of your name. Abide in me, and I'll remain. Every step of prayer, every beat your name. Abide in me, and I'll remain. In the rhythm of your grace. You are the reason.
Yeah, I don't think I think I've been on the wrong side multiple times here. Well, not multiple times.
Divine and human intertwined, I remain. Abide in me, and I remain.
This is where I was planning on taking my long. Let's decide if we want to take it or not. Bear structure, sweep. We didn't get to this hourly. Is this a wick or is this going to close down below? I just need to decide, and then if I take another trade, it will be the last trade I take in this market. I'm a little disappointed.
You are the branches. Stay with me, stay. see. Come and be healed. Jesus has the power. He gives a new life.
I see the short also right here. Violated the 5 minute and we closed below it. I think it's safer to probably take that short. Or not take anything at all. Yep. Let's take out our longs for right now. Still high.
Jesus is the one who calms the storm.
That looks the best.
He is the one who walks on water. He is the one who raises the dead. He is the one who has the power to forgive.
Do I want to take that risk?
And he calls you now. Come and see.
We have an inverted there. What does a 15 minute look like? 15 minute closes in 3 minutes.
Jesus has the power. He gives you life. Come and see. Come and be healed. Jesus has the power. He gives new life.
All right, so if we get a close below, I think the confirmation is if we close below this 15 in the next 3 minutes. If we get the retracement back up here, I'm going to use that as my entry. I'm going to use that as the manipulation of the next 15-minute candle, and then I'm going to take a short from there. That's my final decision. If I get that, I'm taking the trade. If I don't, I'm not taking the trade.
Speckles of neon in a bright amber sky.
And yeah, it could be, we could just go back and forth. The first potential target, if I'm going to take a short, would be to this, the first presented fair value gap.
Your gentle voice enters my thoughts.
Still, the risk to reward would still be good. Could be a 2-to-1 risk to reward if we can get up to here.
You make all things beautiful out of dust. You make all things new from all that's broken. You bring forth your radiance from the ruins of my heart. A flame glowing deep.
3 minute? Did we close below? Yeah, we did close below the 3 minute. So we're getting violations of discount PD arrays.
You make all things beautiful out of dust. You make all flash to wonder, from silence to song. You exhale life into the hollow places, and I awoke no longer alone. The gray gave way to light.
All right, I want to see an aggressive candle on the next open. That's what I'm looking for. I want it to be aggressive to the upside. So we got the close below on the 15-minute, close below on the 5-minute, close below on the 3-minute. I just need the retracement up to this level here, this fair value gap or this breaker, and I'll be looking at that as my entry.
But you were already flowing streams of living water. My soul was dry.
That's going to be my last opportunity before I stop on the day.
But your voice broke open the dust, and I felt the current start to move. You said, "Dream, I am the living water. Drink of me, and never thirst again." Your word runs deeper than the surface. Your peace flows slow but sure. I'm not chasing rain anymore. I'm standing waiting for living water running through me. Holy Spirit, let your water flow in me. Living water, I come to drink from the heart where your presence flows.
All right, we're going to take that entry there. Entry was here, and stop loss 335 30. So that'd be that would be my stop loss at 531. Target I'm going to take is down to the lows or the first presented fair value gap. And if I get stopped out, that will be the end of my day. All right, leaving emotions out. I'm gonna let the trade play out. And does it look good right now? No, it doesn't. But we're not changing. We're looking at this inversion here, that it's allowable to reach up into this. It did what I wanted, showed aggression, potentially scare some out of the position, or it could just keep pumping higher, and if it does go into that hourly, I will be done and I won't be taking in another trade.
my house with honor and keep my heart from doing wrong. I will say no wicked thing before my eyes are in my way. The proud will not endure with me. Truth and love will light my day. I'll stand in faith, I'll stand in grace, in purity before you.
What's making you more comfortable in the setup? It's not. It's the mentality I came into the trade of me deciding what my plan was in advance and then sticking to the plan. I pre-prepped my emotions to handle it. I didn't do that on the last trade. And there we are, stopped out. So that is it, folks. That is it. I'm not, in fact, we're going to do a manual lockout. We're going to use that feature. I think what this describes, and thanks for bringing that up, EC, is the difference between the trades for me was a matter of mental preparation for the trade that I was taking. It wasn't about whether I liked the setup less or more. It was about the mental preparation I took for that trade. Yeah, there's a balance between the music. We'll turn it down just a hair. Especially when you're in a trade. I have my music down on mine. I mean, I can hear it. So the difference between these two setups for me was about mental preparation for the trade I was going to take and a determination to not meddle in the middle. I took a loss. I followed the plan. I put my risk management on the table, and the trade didn't work out. So, potential bad read on the trade idea. It's now running in my direction after it sweeps my stop by 10 points. That's the market that we're in right now. Fades when I believe, not by power, not by might, but by your spirit I ignite. Every heartbeat testifies your light lives in mine. Arise and shine, your glory's on me now. I'm not hiding, I'm found in the fire somehow. Light of the world, you live inside. I move with heaven in my stride. Arise and shine. Your glory's No, the 1030 model didn't play out at all. The entry is right now. That's your entry for the 1030 model. It's off of a breaker.
I can't hold what heaven has spoken.
Well, folks, I think what I want to do is I want to call it a day. I want to walk away. I'm not happy with executions for today. I don't want to do anything emotional. And I think it's safer and best for me to walk away bummed on 2 executions. So we're going to walk away. We're going to call it a day. Hang on. Here's where I think. There we go. We're going to do that here real quick. We're going to call it a day, folks. I'm going to walk away, not mess around with anything. We'll be back here tomorrow for Friday. But I think it's best for me to just call it a day. I don't want to take any more trades. So we'll be back tomorrow. New mentality, fresh perspective. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions, you can find or reach out. Let me know. But other than that, guys, God bless. Stay safe. And we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.